What's up, everyone? This is Roots of Black once again bringing you the Septuagint. Yes, we're bringing you the Septuagint. Now, I'm sitting over here looking at this here. This was hard for me to find on the internet for some odd reason because they don't want you to see this, but this got pulled from, so the study guide here that you see, this was, these chapters, because these are chapters, they're from the internet and print them, put them, go over them and stick them in the accordion folder. And they wasn't stuck in any order, not even how we did it, because at first they were just sitting out, piled up and folded up, brought back out again, look forward, So there was no rhyme or reason of how this is in here. So just pulling it out randomly. And one of the verse that I'm chapter, I'm gonna say verse. That's been in the Christian church forever because they, excuse me, they teach you in verses. So it's still in the programming of me, the spelling, they casted a spell upon me. And you can't fully break all of the spells that was casted upon you. I'm trying to though, but it is not an easy task considering that that's all you ever heard, whether you go to church or YouTube or whatever. Turn to verse. No one learns in a sentence. That's what they're teaching you. They're teaching you about a book in a sentence, not even understanding that the sentence that you learned has a following passage, sentence to it, and the sentence before that that gives more clarification to that sentence. But they that's how they teach because it's like they say, judge not, yes ye be judged. So Christians, that's where they stop. But if you continue to read, so that's this is what I call the trick of Christianity. So the trick of Christianity is in that verse right there. But they use the verse and it says, "Judge not, yes, ye be judged," and they use that so they tell you not to judge. But that's not. So if you continue to read it, right, he's telling you that judge not, ye be judged, and then tell you how to judge correctly because he said that you still have the same issue that your brother has. So you need to remove it from your brother, and then you can start judging his actions. So they don't teach the whole entire, teaching. They only teach judge not ye be judged. They don't continue it. So that's how Christians trick you. This is why I'm telling you to leave the church because the shepherds are going to die, and if you become a shepherd, I mean the sheep of that shepherd, they're going to die. Now, also too, the people in the churches, all of them aren't the shepherds, sheep. This is, when I can't remember which, maybe Ezekiel, can't remember which one it is when it talks about the shepherds that they're feeding. Yes, I think it's Ezekiel 34 that the shepherds are giving life water to the Most High sheep and killing them while they're amongst the shepherds. So that's what's going on. So there are some of the Most High sheep in the churches looking for the Most High, but they'll never find them there. So that's why I always tell you to get out the church. Stay away from them. Run as far away from them as you possibly can, because they're going to kill you. They are. If you stay there long enough, you will die. And I'm talking about not like the first death where everybody, but the last generation is going to meet. I'm talking about the second death, the second one. Don't leave them. Flee, 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 flee. All right. So let's go to Moon Reader Pro, and we're going to click on here to get to the menu, and we're going to go to Judges here, and let me see if this one's going to be the same. Okay, so this is something that I've been telling people about for years of what's going on this earth, and it's always happy because I mean there was stuff there. I didn't have all the equipment back in the day that I have now in order to be able to do what I do now. So it was more of me, you know, saying the word instead of speaking the word. So I would just discuss what was going on. So we're discussing the book and this and that. Of course, there were, things there where people could read it, but the majority of it was me just giving understanding of the word. Now I'm reading the word and doing the understanding at the same time. So praise ye be the Most High for giving that understanding. So no one can say anything anymore. No one, because it's in your face. So no one can say anything anymore. So when we read this, there is no, well, first of all, there's only one, like there's only one truth, there's only one interpretation. Whether you get it or not, or whether you want to speak the truth or not my concern, but there's only one interpretation and there's only one truth. So to see the Most High say this out their mouth, out of the book, out of his mouth, because it's being just written down. What can they question? So that's why it's better to do it this way, so no one can question what you do. Too many people are worried about putting their faith there, and that lets me know also too that they don't understand the Messiah and the Most High. I'm not telling you that you can't put your faith there, but I'm just saying, but that's what people care about. So that lets me know, like I say, they really don't, and I don't think that's in this accordion folder here. But we're getting through it so fast because I'm doing the videos that means there'll be new ones added, and we'll get into the Messiah and that understanding of their faith thing. We're gonna get into that one. No matter of fact, I think it's in here. That I think it's actually in here. But all right, let's look at it here. This is going to be a long one, but the chapter is long. All right. So and it says in these. So that means that in these, this is a continuation of this here. So we're gonna go to this is Judges 3, but we're gonna go to 22:20 and read down. And the Lord was very angry with Israel and said, for as much as in this nation has forsaken my covenant, which I commanded their fathers. So he's telling you right there what's going on. And has not hearkened to my voice. So when he speaks, they don't listen. When your parents listen, you mean speak. You're supposed to listen. You do know that, right? Therefore, I will not anymore cast out the man of the nations before them, before their face, which Joshua the son of Naiui left in the land, and the Lord left them to prove with Israel to prove Israel with them. So this is to prove Israel with them. Whatever when it says whether they would keep the way of the Lord and to walk in it as their fathers kept it or not. So the Lord will leave these nations so as not to cast them out suddenly and deliver them not into the hands of Joshua. Okay, so that is the continuation of where we're about to go. So now we're about to get to understand more clarification of what's going on. And these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel with them. So, which I've always been telling you, you are under a trial. You're going to have to reprove everything you do, and you have to put the work in. So, everyone that says just faith, they're a damn lie. It's the Christian church. Keep on saying this. This is not throughout the book at all. At all. This is, like I say, Christianity comes from the Catholic religion. Catholic religion. Catholic religion. Catholic means universal. 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 All religions combined in one is Christianity and that New Testament. All right. That's what it is. And it's been proven. It has been proven. I've proved it many a times. And I will continue to reprove it and prove that that is to be true. because it's just too easy to do, and it's just going to be done. Period. So, and it says all that had not known the wars of, and it says Chin Anan. So it's like that's the the wars. And it says Canaanites, Canaanites, and all this other stuff, and Canaanites. So there's a whole second, it's different people that are named similarly to throw you off. So that's what's going on. Only for the sake of the generations of Israel to teach them war. So that's that was also why he did this to teach them war so they can see the ramifications of not to do this. So to teach them this. When someone's teaching you this and they're teaching you that, especially when it comes to war, they're teaching you not to do this too, so you won't have to do this. The understanding the harshness of this. And it says only for the sake of it, okay, only the men before them knew them not. The five lordships of the Philistines and every you see that you see that one says Chanan, so Chan and right there. See that? And this one says Canaanites, and then you'll see it says Canaanites. Okay. And it says every Canaanite and the Sidonian and the Everite who dwelled in Libanus from the mount of Aramon to Leo Leboemoth, math, I mean. And this was done in order to prove Israel by them to know whether they would obey the commandments of the Lord, which he charged their fathers by the hand of Moses. Moses is the lawgiver. This is what it means by this, by the hands of Moses. And he makes sure he says that because Moses was a beloved child of his. Beloved child of his. That's why he says by the hand of Moses. Very important when you hear the Most High bring up Moses. So he's telling you he left these people on the land so you can prove whether you want to serve the Lord or serve their God and serve them. So you already know what happened. That's why you're here today amongst other gods, and we're going to get into that too. It's in this folder. It's amazing what's in this folder, and it's being proven. So this is why it says that who knows, if you were sent by me and there's a prophet, how does he not know these prophecies that are in this book? You do know that, right? Like almost no one knows the prophecies that are in this book. I'm telling you, I've been combing throughout life and the internet to find someone that knows this, who spends as much time as me to do this. Truthfully, because I mean, preachers spend more time than me and they don't know this. I mean, because they're wicked. The shepherds are going to die and their sheep, but they spend more time. They spend more time on the book than I do, and they can't even get this right. So I could just imagine everyone else. And like I say, I've never said that I'm better than anyone. It's just I put the work in. I know I really truly do. And I ask for this. I don't want to be a leader of anyone. I understand what it's like to understand what a shepherd and a prophet is. I don't want to be one of them. That is way too hard. That is you don't even understand what you have to go through to be those. And they're saying that they're one. Man, you don't get out of here with that. This is this is bananas. It really is. And the children of Israel dwelt in the mix of it says Chan, Ananite, and the Chetite, and the Amorite, and the Pharisite, and the Evite, and the Jebusite. And they took their daughters to wives for themselves. And they gave their daughters to their sons and served their gods. All right. So he left them there to see what they'll do. And it's the same thing that you're doing now on this in this plane of existence in America and where you are. You decided to do what the nations did. You decided to do this. I hope you know that, right? Your family decided to do it, and they put you in the eight ball by letting you be captured, and they bring up you and destroy you with because that's what they say they enslave you with Christianity. They did. That's why you have a giant section of black folks that don't believe, like they don't believe in Christianity. I mean, it's not that big, but it's still enough. They don't believe in this because they know that that's the the religion of their oppressor. They understand this, but they didn't read this book themselves to even understand that everybody's religion is in the book of the oppressors because they want to oppress the whole earth. Like not impress, oppress the whole entire planet. That is their job. That is their job. So they put every religion in that book to oppress them. All right. So as you can see here, so now I'm about to give you some giant understanding of things that I have been discussing many times before. When I told you that all of these people that are amongst you aren't your family, because it just told you. The Amorite, the Pharisite, the Ebusite, the Jebusite, all of them. These are wicked. They have demon blood in them. You know that, right? And you just learned right there that your family, it's in your blood too. That you and your family now have these wicked bloodlines in you. That's why the black community is can what you see today, where they're just killing each other. The girls too now, because they're breeding more with the criminal elements. Remember, okay, so it first started with the men. The men were the only ones that were out here perpetuating all the crimes. When the 80s and the 90s, where they start, the drugs and gun violence that happened and plagued all of Black America. So it was just men doing all the crimes. So this is what was going on. 80% of black women have children. Only 40% of black men have children. So that means that there's a double amount of women having children over the men. So that means that they're sleeping with the same men. And out of the 80% of, the women, it's like, so 80% of the women, 80% of them have multiple baby daddies. And so we find out that they're basically sleeping with all of the same men. So all of the criminal elements of our ilk are having. So 20% of men are having children with 80% of the black women. That's what's going on. So that's where the 20/80 rule comes from. This is why when this woman, this black woman, she has a child. So I need you to understand this exactly what's going on. So this black woman, she has a child, and then she has another child, but those are two different daddies, and another one that's another daddy. And then that baby daddy of theirs also has children from other women and other women and other women. So that one man by himself has created six children amongst six women. This is what's going on. So a small select few of our men are mating with all of our women. So that 20% of men are having children with 80% of the women. So that 20% is the element of the wicked ones amongst us, because those are the ones that are killing, stealing, robbing, perpetuating all the crimes. So these are the ones with the Philistine blood in them, with the Amorite blood in them, with the Jebusite blood in them. All of these wicked ones. That's who they are amongst you. Because remember, your family members bred with them and they became them. So those are the wicked ones amongst you. And so if you keep on, so it perpetuated. Remember, these were the guys that were doing this. Now they start having all the children. So naturally, all the children are going to be wicked. So that's what's going on. So now time moved in the 80s and the 90s. These men were put on pedestals of high. They became the kings of the black community. So whenever you become kings, women flock. Kings have more than one wife because they can afford to do it and they have the status. So that's what happens because there's not enough men on earth for every woman. So some women have to double and sometimes triple. And then the black community is even worse because, the death of the black men, this and that they have to really, really double. So they have to double up on men. And they're going to do it anyway because, like I say, 20% of the black males in our community is having 80% of the babies. So it perpetuates. They're the wicked ones. Now all our children are born by wicked ones. So 80% of the black seed now is made from wicked human beings. So and then the daughters are made. So now that's why you see that the women are committing crimes now. So it's just the men. So now their daughters are from these wicked ones. So their daughters are wicked now. So the daughters are shooting people, stabbing people, killing people, jumping people. They talk like men, they smoke men, they do weed, they call you bro. They're the children of the wicked ones now. So that's what you see in the black community. Good luck. I'm telling you this as a human being that is trying to help you. Do not live amongst black folks. You can help them all day. That's what I do. I help them all day. But do not live amongst them because they will kill you. Because their children will kill you. Those are the ones that are bred with the wicked ones amongst us. Because this is what we're reading now. And their sons and serve their gods. So and they're serving their gods, which is money. Like whatever their god is. Right now, their god is money and merchandise and weed and drugs and sex and rap and stuff like that. That's their gods right now. So that's what's going on. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord. So, and they're doing it now. And forgot the Lord their God, doing the same thing now. And serve, Baalim and the grove. So, they were on every high hill. And this is a different Baal. So I hope you know that Dagon is the father, the demon father, and he made a bunch of balls or Baals. And that's why it says by Baal, by Baal. You have that version. That's why it says Lord there. You should know this by now. For those of you who are listening to this for the first time, you better get your minds right and go back and look at all of these other videos for you to get up on this here because you're jumping in the middle of this and you didn't know any of the beginning. So, and the Lord was very angry with Israel and sold them in the hand of the Chasar Rathaim, king of Syria of the rivers, and the children of Israel served Chusar Saphthium 8 years. This is when like they went because they've been in captivity for Babylon, Syria, Persia, stuff like that, and then they was under Rome, the Greeks. So they got sent away every time that they did wickedness, and so this is what was going on. So this is them telling what they have done and what's going on. And the children of Israel cried to the Lord, and the Lord raised up a savior to Israel and saved them. And it says, Goth O El, the son of Kenzi, the brother of Chaleb, younger than himself, and the spirit of the Lord came upon him. So they raised up, a prophet. This is what this is. And he judged Israel and went out to war against, Chusar, Sephadim, whatever. The Lord delivered into his hands Chusar, Sethium, king of Syria, the rivers, and his hands prevailed against Chusar Sethium, and the land was quiet for 40 years. And Gothlion, son of Kenas, died. And the children of Israel continued to do evil before the Lord. So they always wait until, someone leaves their presence. You know how it is in people when no one's around, your children, how they act, how wicked people act, stuff like that. He's just telling you that this is like Montel Jordan. This is how they do it. I mean, everybody knows this. And the children of Israel continued to do evil before the Lord. And the Lord strengthened in Elgiam, king of Moab, against Israel, because they have done evil before the Lord. So I'm telling you, when you do wickedness, you're going to get handed over to it. I mean, this is self-explanatory right here. And he gathered to himself the children of, you know, Ammon and Amalek, and went and smote Israel and took possession of the city of palm trees. And the children of Israel served Eg Eglon, the king of Moab, 18 years. So you see, in all the times that you served him, and the children of Israel cried to the Lord, and he raised up to them a savior. Okay, pause. The only way you're going to get out of America if you cry up to the Most High. I'm just telling you this. If they're not teaching that, they're teaching you to build in this country. You're going to die. I'm just telling you that they're going to die, and then if you follow them, you're going to die too. Because this is not what it's supposed to. No, raise them up a savior, Aod, the son of Gurra, a son of Gemini, a man who used both hands alike. So he was, ambidextrous. He wasn't left or right handed. The children of Israel sent gifts by his hand to Eglon, king of Moab, and Ahod made himself a dagger of two edges and a span long, and he girded it under his cloak, under his right thigh, and he went and brought forth the presence of Eglon, king of Moab, and Eglon was very handsome man. So this is pause. I'm telling you now, for those of you who don't understand, that the Lord is warning you about handsome men and what they can do to the earth. So we know what beautiful women do. That's easy. That's understandable. But a handsome man can cause way more problems on the earth than any woman. Like a 10 woman can compare to a 8 man. And then if he's a 10 man, like if that man's a 10 in the eyes of the earth, the world is done. I'm just telling you that he could destroy the whole entire earth. I'm just telling you this. And it came to pass when Aod, you know, a yeah, Aod had made an end of offerings his gifts, and he dismissed those that brought the gifts, and he himself returned from the quarters that are by Gilgal, and Aod said, I have a secret errand to thee, O king. And Eglon said to him, be silent. And he sent away from his presence all who waited upon him. And Aod went into him and sat in his own upper chamber, summer chamber, quite alone. And Aod said, I have a message from God to thee, O king. And Eglon rose up from his throne near him, and it came to pass that he rose, and Aod stretched forth his left hand and took the dagger of his right thigh and plunged it into his belly, and drove in also the half of the blade and the fat close upon the blade, for he drew it not out of the dagger from his belly. So, basically just left it there. And Aod went out of the porch and passed by the appointed guards and shut the door of the chambers upon him and locked them. And he went out, and Eglon servants came and saw, and behold, the door of the upper chambers were locked. And he said, does he not uncover his feet in the summer chamber? Like why is this locked, basically? And they waited till they were ashamed, and behold, there was no one that opened the doors of the upper chamber. And they took the key and opened them, and behold, their Lord has fallen down dead upon the earth. And Aod escaped while they were in tumult, turmoil. And no one paid attention to him, and he passed the quarters and escaped to Seth Arotha, a mount in Ephraim, and the children of Israel came down with him from the mountain, and he was before them. And he said to them, come down after me, for the Lord God has delivered our enemies, even Moab, into our hands. And they went down after him and seized on the fords of Jordan before Moab, and he did not suffer a man to pass over. So none of them died. And they smote Moab on that day, about 10,000 men, every lustful person and every mighty man, and not a man escaped. So Moab was humbled in that day under the hands of Israel. So the Most High humbled them right there. And the land had rest 80 years, and Ahab judged them until he died. And after him rose up Samagar, the son of Dinich, and smote the Philistines to the number of 600 men with a plowshare, such as he drawn by oxen, and he too delivered Israel. So that right there was letting you know that in Judges what happened and why you have to pay attention to your existence of being a human being, and you're going to be tested all of the days of your life. I'm just telling you this. Be prepared. The Most High is going to test you to see if you love Him or not. See if because anyone can say anything. Actions speak louder than words. Everyone knows this term and understands it to be true. So you're going to have to show him this, because every anyone could pretend. I mean, If you read this, you read this history book, because this is what it is. The Holy Scriptures history book. When you read this here, you understand that, yeah, everything's a test and a trial. You're in a gauntlet. You will be tested. You will be tried as silver and gold in fire. So that means tribulation. This is what you're going to do. Can you do it? Can you make it through? Because I mean, the Christian church is telling you that it's going to be chocolates and sunshine. But that's not what the Most High says. That's not what the Messiah says. That's not what the book says. That's not what history says. That's not what logic dictates. That's not even what your life says. Your life says that you're going to go through hardships. So why are they teaching that you're not? Hmm? It's easy to see this, though, of what's going on. It's there in front of you. It's not going to change. It's not going to stop. So hopefully that you'll start getting your mind right, because you're going to need all of your mind, and you're going to need it right. This is the manna from heaven. Hallelujah.